Pessoal, boa noite. Obrigada aí por todo mundo que está aqui já com a gente. Eu tenho certeza que vamos entrar mais, vai ter mais tutores e diretores ao longo dessa conversa. Mas o mais importante hoje é a gente poder conhecer a Carolyn, que é a coordenadora pedagógica da Washington. Eu acho que muita gente ainda tem algumas dúvidas de como vai funcionar, e o mais importante de tudo era conhecer mesmo. Por isso a gente tentou organizar essa reunião. A gente sabe que é difícil para muitos de vocês estarem aqui com a gente, e é muito difícil a gente conseguir um horário em que todos possam participar. Então, gravando, a gente consegue reproduzir aí para quem não pode nesse momento estar junto, e na próxima com certeza estará. Thank you, Caroline, for coming. It's very, very important, this meeting, and I'd like you to explain all about Washington Academy for teachers and tutors and principals. Thank you for your time.
Great. Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here today to talk about Washington Academy. And we're so excited about our partnership with the Fiji and to be able to bring this dual diploma through Washington Academy to all your students. So this is really exciting. And should we just go ahead and get started, or are we waiting for anybody else?
Yeah, we can go ahead and get started. You let me know when you want me to change slides.
Okay, all right. Well, welcome everybody. As I said, I'm happy to be here, and we'll just move on to our next slide here. So I think a lot of you are already familiar with the dual diploma program, so we're not going to explain much about that today. But we'll talk a little bit more about like what the benefits are and how the Washington Academy version of the diploma looks. And you know, the biggest difference here is that your students will really stand out with the diploma from Washington Academy. It's a real physical school. We've been around for a long time. I'm going to give you some more details on this, but at the end of the day, this is really going to be a great advantage for your students. And I know they're currently, a lot of them are currently doing a program, which is great. This is almost like a little bit of a premium product. So it's just another way to help the students be able to get that USA high school diploma. So on our next slide here, here's the question, kind of why Washington Academy? You know, what makes this program so great? As I said, first of all, we're an established American boarding school that's been around for 230 years, fully accredited school with a very strong reputation. Our students go to great colleges and universities. We have a large variety of courses that students can take. And then there's also a college advisement program that is, I'll give you a little bit more details later, but where we help the students with applications to colleges and universities in the US. It's the same interactive platform, Edgenuity, that they worked with before with the Franklin program. So this is nothing new. It's gamified, really great platform. The difference is, like I said, that it's coming from sort of a real US boarding school. And I don't know if Laura wants to explain that a little bit more.
No, go ahead.
Okay, let me know when you want to butt in. So here's our campus, located up in Maine. As you can see, it's a beautiful fall day, that picture. It does get a little cold up there, but it's a very active campus in a great location. Like I said, very established, been around for a while.
Eu acho que esse é um ponto importante, porque os alunos, a Franklin, ela é uma escola muito bem ranqueada, né? Mas ela não existe fisicamente. Então, o fato de existir num campus, can I back, please? Yes. O fato de existir um campus tão maravilhoso em que os alunos podem visitar, né? É uma instituição que tem... é de 1897, quer dizer, tem uma história, né? E uma das melhores está entre as tops dos Estados Unidos. Então, isso já é é muito palpável, muito mais visível, inclusive para os alunos que supostamente queiram fazer um high school lá ou um summer camp. Ok.
So I think Laura just mentioned this, but we were founded in 1792, boarding and day school. So educating students for a long time, and located in Maine. And there are about 430 students on the campus. And Washington has been teaching these students for a while and decided, you know what, let's bring our Washington Academy education to students all around the world, because not every student can come. We do love to accept international students. F1 students are always welcome, but not all the students can travel. And a lot of times you want your students to stay at school with you in Brazil. So this way they get an international education in addition to the wonderful their education they're getting back at home with you. And so they get the 2 diplomas. A lot of extensive programs available for students, and on campus we have a lot of really involved, active student learners. So we're trying to take that energy and bring some of that in our classes to the online program. So here we have a little video.
Yay!
Bem,
Well, that was a lot of work for a short video. A lot of work for a short video, but it kind of shows
Yes.
the excitement of campus.
sorry.
Okay. So on to so that's the fun things that happen on campus. You can see the students really interactive learners, right? Doing a lot, both in the classroom and out of the classroom, and in science labs and on football fields. So a little bit more about the accreditation. So Washington is fully accredited school. We're accredited by the New England Association of Schools and Colleges, which also accreditates all the schools in the Northeast of the US, and also a member of a number of associations you can see here: independent schools, different boarding school associations. So we've got a lot of big networks and deep connections within the Northeast, and also nationally across the US. So, you know, like I said, highly respected American boarding school. A lot of our students go to very strong colleges and universities in the US, and also we do have students that do go abroad. We have students that go to Ivy League schools. The academic program is very robust, and we're taking what we can to have it to be online for the students. So we're trying to bring what courses we have, some of those at least, to the online program. And just in addition to that, we've got sports and theater and arts. And so your students won't necessarily participate in all of that, but they know that they're part of that sort of bigger community at Washington Academy.
Eu acho que essa reputação da Washington é um grande valor que os alunos vão carregar no diploma deles, né? Então, é uma boarding do mais alto nível, que está entre as melhores dos Estados Unidos.
Here's some more of our students. You're going to start to wonder if they're ever in the classroom, because all the photos are of them having fun. But when they are in the classroom, like I said, there's a variety of courses that they can take. And with the dual diploma program, it's a total of 6 courses that students need to take. So 3 of those are required. That's English, 11th grade English, 12th grade English, and US history. Those 3 are required for all of your students. And then the students get to choose 3 electives. So you can see the list here. They can choose psychology or marine science or small business entrepreneurship classes. So there's good variety for the different students depending upon what their interest is. And then we also offer AP courses that students can also take if they want to. And the AP course is really good for students that are, very advanced. If they've already taken chemistry at school with you, they could take AP or biology. If they've already taken biology, they could take AP biology. The course does not include the AP test. They need to take the AP test back at home. But it does prepare them for that. It's very high level. And if they do well on the test, then they can oftentimes use that credit towards college for college credit at a school in the US. So those are good for students with strong English that are very advanced and they really are interested in, further studying something like biology or calculus.
Uhum. E eu acho que isso é uma coisa que atrai muitos alunos, principalmente agora com essa questão do novo ensino médio, o fato deles poderem ter a opção de escolher 3, né? Os alunos que estão em transição, talvez não tenham tanta vantagem em relação às escolhas, mas ainda assim vão poder escolher, e talvez não as 3, se já fizeram na Franklin alguma como obrigatória, vai entrar como eletiva, mas ainda assim todos vão poder alguma coisa escolher. E isso é muito importante. Caroline, can you talk a little bit more about AP courses, please? The difference between elective and AP courses for some tutors ask me about that.
So the students can choose 3 electives, right? And so they could choose one of the electives to be an AP if they wanted to. They could choose all 3, but that might be a little bit pretty demanding schedule. But say, for example, you have a student that really is interested in science, right? They may choose one elective to be physics, and then they may choose sort of AP biology as an elective. And then for their 3rd elective, they might choose, say, marine science or something. So a student could choose the electives that they're most interested in those subjects. The AP course, usually for electives, we say the study time is about maybe 2.5 hours. Well, it's probably maybe about 5 hours per week, like between 3 and 5 hours a week, I think, is what we say for the electives if the student takes it over that semester, over a 20-week period. The AP course is going to take more time. It probably take not double as much time, but it'll take, more time because it really is a college level class. So these AP courses are taught at a higher level. Students can get college credit because it really is advanced. And they should always have taken, they should have taken maybe calculus at home first, or an honors calculus or honors math classes before they take the AP courses. Because it is that advanced, and we want to make sure they have a really solid foundation in that subject before they take that class. If it was a strong student,
Go ahead.
If it was a very strong student, like for AP English Literature and Language, they could take that without taking, the class before or the same equal class. But you really need to be a strong student for those subjects.
No Brasil, a gente tem uma modinha agora de algumas escolas usarem a divulgação de que são escolas IB. A IB é a versão suíça do AP. Mas é muito importante que vocês entendam isso para poder até conversar com os pais e explicar a diferença. As disciplinas, tanto o AP como o IB, elas são disciplinas densas, são disciplinas pré-universitárias que mostram maior habilidade dos estudantes numa competição por uma vaga, mas quem dá a certificação para o aluno não é a escola, é um órgão independente que o aluno vai ter que fazer uma prova para ter o crédito IB no final. Então, o que se faz é dar um curso preparatório para o aluno fazer essa prova depois. E o crédito vem dessa prova, conseguindo aí a nota que ele precisa. Então, é muito importante, porque o que nós estamos fazendo aqui, gente, é um diploma de high school com possibilidade de fazer a disciplina AP dentro e ter o diploma além do AP. Então, é muito importante porque, assim, eu tenho ouvido muito de alguns pais eu vou... por que vocês têm esse diploma? Por que não é IB? Porque o meu filho, meu primo, o sobrinho estuda não sei aonde, que é a escola IB. Não sabem o que é IB, o que é IP e o que é duplo diploma. A verdade é que não sabem. Acham bonito porque é modinha, mas é importantíssimo saber. Eles têm um diploma aqui com a Washington, independente se eles colocaram dentro uma das 6 disciplinas, uma disciplina IP ou não, vai ter o diploma. E se fizeram uma disciplina IP, eles vão poder fazer essa prova ao final, que é um órgão independente, é como se fosse... É que nos Estados Unidos não tem um Ministério da Educação. Então, você tem órgãos de acreditação, e o College Board é um deles. Eles fazem essa prova e conseguem, além de ter o diploma, o crédito AP, que vale como crédito universitário. Quando eles entram na universidade, além de eles ficarem em vantagem competitiva na seleção, eles já, por exemplo, podem eliminar cálculo 1 se forem fazer uma engenharia, porque já é uma disciplina universitária. Alguém quer comentar alguma coisa? Alguma dúvida? Ok.
One more thing I want to say about the AP courses is, so you get a lot of students in the US, right, in high school will take AP courses for a couple reasons. One is because if they do well on the test, then they can get college credit. The other is they're trying to show strength of schedule. And what a lot of universities want to see is that the students have really pushed themselves as much as they can, and that they're really trying to do their best in the most rigorous classes that they can take. So by taking these AP courses and getting a good grade in the course, it also shows to the university, okay, this is a hardworking student, they're academically strong. If they can do well in the AP course at a high school level, then that's a pretty good indicator that the student can do well when they get to our college or university. So, you know, 2 things for students doing the dual diploma with the AP, 2 things are really gonna bump them up. One is that they're doing a dual diploma, right? A lot of students are applying to colleges and universities with only 1 degree, 1 diploma, and they've done 2. So universities know that the student is working kind of twice as hard in a way. And then if they're doing that with the AP, it really shows the strength of that student as being very motivated, very strong student, academically strong, and willing to handle college level work. So I think it's college and universities really like to see that the students are stretching themselves, and they can do it in 2 ways here, either just with the dual diploma or also by adding the AP.
Yes, great. Okay, let me continue here. Oops.
So here's the diploma. This is the same diploma that the students at Washington Academy in the video get. It's an official school diploma. They'll also get the transcript from Washington Academy as well. So they do get the full diploma. And then, as I mentioned earlier, we have a college advisement program. So this is basically a college counseling service that's included. And you know, in the US, there are over 3,000 colleges and universities, and students that even live here, you know, are kind of trying to figure out, you know, what's the right school for me? Where should I go? I want to study applied mathematics, and where's a good program for that? So it really helps, you know, we have a one-on-one advisor that we will match up with the students to really help them try and find the right kind of school that's good for them. And then we can...
E os estudantes podem optar por isso, tá? Então, assim, não tem um custo extra, tá no combo aí do que eles vão fazer, né? E eles podem optar por esse suporte.
So we work with a network of over 300 colleges and universities across the US. And we do also work with some schools in the UK, Australia, and New Zealand, and Ireland. But the majority of the schools are in the US. But students can apply anywhere. So if they apply to schools within our network, there are some advantages. But you know, we can help students apply to anywhere. And in this network, there's a range. So there's everything from, you know, a community college, you know, which is for students that you're maybe not as strong, to very high level schools, you know, University of Washington up there, you know, some Georgia, so some really good, strong universities. So there's a mixture of schools that that we partner with around the country. And, you know, like I said, students can apply anywhere, but if they do apply with these schools, there are a couple benefits that they get.
Okay.
So how does it work? So students will get a one-on-one advisor, which is basically their college counselor, and they will help them find a school that is a good fit for them. So the student says, you know, I want to study applied mathematics and I hate cold weather and I'm kind of shy, so I want a smaller school. And you know, we go through these things and try and find a school that's going to be a good fit for that student. And then that counselor will also guide them through the application process, kind of tell them, you know, these are the steps that need to be done. These are the important dates. These are the things you should highlight in your essay and in your personal statement. So they're going to guide them through that process. And then, as I said, the students can really apply anywhere, either within the network or outside the network. We're not just looking at the schools in our network. We give students sort of an option of both, you know, two different options. So if they do apply to a school within the network, there are a couple benefits. So one is they're guaranteed acceptance into at least one of those 300 schools, which, you know, it sounds nice, but in essence, I mean, it's nice, but some of those schools, there's a big range. So some of them are, like I said, community colleges, easier to get into. You know, we obviously can't guarantee they're going to get into Harvard, but we know they're at least going to get into a school, and we're going to hold their hand as they apply and as they get into that school. There are also some scholarship opportunities and that are available because they're applying through this network. And those can range from like $2,000 up to $20,000. It depends on the student. It depends where they're applying to. A lot of factors, as they always are when students are applying for scholarships. And the other thing is the application fee waiver. So for the first 3 universities that they apply to, they don't have to pay for that application fee. And then after that, they do. And application fees, I think these days are around $100 or so per school. And I know kids in the US will apply to 13 schools or something. So that does add up. So that's kind of a nice little perk they get. So those are the benefits if they apply within the network.
Uma coisa importante, gente, é que os alunos têm o mesmo diploma dos alunos presenciais e que fazem os 4 anos de high school na Washington. Então, esses benefícios todos, lembrando que a Washington está no ranking das tops dos Estados Unidos e aí as universidades nessa aceitação tem um olhar diferente, né? E os alunos que cursam do diploma, eles têm essa vantagem as mesmas vantagens que os alunos locais da Washington. Okay.
So that's all I have to share. I'm sure, hopefully there's some questions. If anybody wants to know more about anything, just speak up, let me know.
Bom, só para completar, only for finish, Caroline, nós temos aqui o programa de Summer Camp que foi liberado para os alunos no próximo ano. Então, todos os alunos da Franklin atualmente, né, e os que estão já entrando na Washington, são 20 vagas, e a gente está liberando primeiro para os alunos do duplo diploma. Então, é um programa de liderança, de uma academia de liderança global, que vai acontecer em julho do ano que vem. É um programa muito disputado, feito em parceria com a Powerful Young, e é um programa onde nós tivemos já nesse último ano, que tem um foco muito diferenciado em paixão, propósito e transformação. Então, eles participam desse programa, quem quiser, não é obrigatório, mas eles participam desse programa a partir desses 3 princípios básicos, identificando paixões, um pouco de orientação de carreira, mas sempre com um propósito, onde eles vão criar seus próprios projetos e se transformar a partir dessa execução. Então, é mão na massa. Não é curso de inglês, não é summer camp de inglês, mas é um summer camp onde eles é dirigido para que eles possam ter uma jornada aí de liderança e aprender se autoconhecer e botar a mão na massa com projetos que valem como atividades complementares para as universidades. A gente tem aqui os alunos que participaram esse ano aqui, foi um grupo bem interessante de alunos de 12 a 17 anos, então eles são divididos em turma jovem e júnior, né? Então eles têm essa separação na hora de desenvolver os projetos. E aqui está o valor, eu já estamos enviando para os pais, isso tudo são 3 semanas de pacote, já tudo certo, com tudo incluso. Então, a gente já está mandando para os pais, eu botei isso aqui no final, que é para vocês todos saberem e poderem nos ajudar. A gente vai liberar para os alunos que não cursam Franklin, logo após as inscrições de até 15 de dezembro, e alunos da Franklin, do nosso duplo diploma, tem $200 de voucher e a opção de ocupar primeiro as vagas. São 20 vagas, tá bom? Ok. Dúvidas, gente, vamos conversar agora, porque eu acho que esse é um momento de troca muito importante para todos nós aqui. Primeiro porque já tinham várias dúvidas antes e a gente foi tentando responder um a um. É super normal essa tensão no momento de troca, né? Estávamos todos muito acostumados, muito já familiarizados, mas, assim, eu não tenho dúvida de que essa troca é para melhor. Não, em nenhum momento eu quero dizer que a Franklin não é boa, mas a Washington tem mais peso acadêmico e outras vantagens que a Franklin não oferecia para a gente. Então, eu fico muito tranquila, à vontade, para dizer que os alunos que estão na Franklin terminando vão terminar exatamente com o que contrataram, mas a gente tem aí um degrau a mais nos que estão começando Washington para esse final de... depois, na próxima turma, que a gente vai já ter esse diploma. Tem diferenciais, e esses diferenciais são bastante interessantes, eu acho que para todos, inclusive para a escola daqui do Brasil, parceira, porque nós estamos falando aí de um nível de colégio americano mais alto, né? E queria ouvi-los agora.
Clara, pode falar?
Pode, quem quiser pode falar, gente.
Eu faço a pergunta em português ou em inglês? Só por curiosidade.
Como é? Desculpa, Isabela, não entendi.
Eu faço a pergunta em português ou em inglês?
Ah, pode fazer em inglês, se for para Carolyn. Okay. Desculpa.
Yeah, hi Carolyn, nice to meet you. I just wanted to know how students get in touch with the counseling program. Do they do that by the Edgenuity platform, or is there a link? Is there another way that could get in touch with the advisors? How does that work?
So usually when the students go onto the program, they'll get an email. So once they register with us, the students should get an email sent to them, and it has a link to an introduction to the program, kind of a login, and then from there they would set up an appointment with the counselor.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Can I make a question?
Claro.
And how often can the student contact, and if it is enough to have just this advisor? Because here in Brazil, they usually pay high price and then they need to write the layers. It's a very long process. So is it really enough? I'm sure the quality is great. I'm very happy to be changing, for sure I am, but I would like to know if it's enough. I mean, we can tell the students not to pay any agency anymore.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. I mean, it is a lot. Even same thing here in the US, right? We get college counselors for the students, you know, and it adds up, right? There are a lot of meetings and all this. So, you know, one of the benefits to the college counselors that we're working with is they work a lot with international students, right? So they're very familiar with that international application, which, you know, you probably have your counselors there as well. So that's one thing. They work with a lot of these different schools, and they also work with, you know, that international application, the visa assistance, things like that, they can help out as well. You know, from my end, you know, I haven't worked with them specifically. I mean, our goal is that this counselor is there for you. The students get kind of an app. They get to meet with that counselor. So it should be enough. I think it depends how much extra assistance that student needs, but they really help them from start to finish throughout the process, and help them find the schools, help them go through, you know, what the application dates are, you know, and what's needed. And then, you know, they'll help give them some guidance on the essay, but sometimes I do think it's helpful maybe for students, if they want to or need to get, you know, somebody to help them just with the essay. Like we'll have that students in the US, they might get sort of an English teacher or somebody to help them with that personal statement. But as far as going through this whole process and everything, you know, the counselors are very experienced in that. And I mean, they can certainly help the student with the personal statement as well. It depends how much assistance the student might need with that.
And is it just one advisor from the very beginning to the end? Or depending on the link that she asked, we send, and the person available can be changing, just for me to understand how it's going to work.
Mm-hmm. It should be just one person. You know, it depends how early the student starts. You know, usually they're going to start this probably in their junior year, in their 11th grade. So it should be one person. I mean, it could be a situation where something happens and that person does something else. But usually the goal is that it's one person, that they have that one counselor that helps them out, gets to know them, and that way they can really counsel them. If it's different people, then it's sort of hard to, person doesn't really get to know you as well. So, you know, it's one person that would help them out.
Thank you very much. They are very happy to be an advisor. For sure, it was a very, very good advantage. And I'm asking so many questions because they do come to talk to me all the time. When can I start talking to them? And I say, please wait for the next year. We haven't changed it yet for the ones that I have already talked. So thank you very much, right?
Okay.
Okay. Depois nós vamos compartilhar, gente. A Patrícia acho que perguntou e depois não deu tempo de eu responder, ela saiu. Essa apresentação e a gravação, tá? Nós vamos enviar amanhã para todo mundo.
A Thelma me pediu isso, Lara, ela está aguardando, inclusive. Obrigada.
Eu acabei de responder aqui no chat que, na verdade, eu estava me referindo quando eu fiz a pergunta sobre o compartilhamento do link, era do vídeo. Mas está entendido que
tá bom,
para a gente poder assistir o vídeo daqui, entendeu? Mas está claro, obrigada.
Eu não vi você ainda aí, estou meio perdida aqui, mas tá bom.
Obrigada, Lara.
Nada. O que mais, gente? Nós vamos compartilhar também com vocês esse material e o que vocês precisarem, a parte acadêmica. A Carolyn é a nossa representante, né? Então é a coordenadora acadêmica, e vocês poderão ter acesso sempre que precisarem de alguma coisa. Importante sempre a Melca estar copiada para poder acompanhar, mas a ideia é que a gente possa agora fazer um bom barulho aí com a Washington, porque a gente acredita muito nesse produto, nesse programa, como um grande diferencial que está chegando no Brasil para os nossos alunos. com muito valor agregado. Então, agora é divulgar dentro das escolas e receber os alunos para 2023. A gente ainda vai ter uma outra novidade para 2023 que está sendo preparada, que vai começar lá no 9º ano para os alunos, mas no começo do ano nós vamos fazer uma reunião já apresentando para vocês todo esse processo, como que vai funcionar de orientação de carreira, que vai poder validar como atividade complementar, como itinerários formativos, e vai ser muito legal. A gente está aí trabalhando firmemente com o pessoal da Suécia e dos Estados Unidos para formatar esse programa. É isso. Nenhuma dúvida mais? Caroline, thank you for your time, and I think that's all.
All right, well, thank you to everybody. It's nice to see everybody here, and hope that you've learned a lot today. If you have any other questions, always, reach out, and I'm sure, Melka or Lara will get in touch with me. And great, excited about Washington Academy, and hope to see your students.
Thank you so much, Carolyn. Thank you so much, teachers.
Thank you, and good night, everybody. It was a pleasure to be with you.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Good night.
Bye, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Bye. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
guys.